Hey, sorry for all the films today. I'm doing an experiment, and so I'm uploading, oh, damn it, I screwed up the bombilla. I'm uploading multiple films in one day. I'm telling you, if you don't drink this stuff, try it, just try it. So earlier today, I did a written post in the community section of YouTube where I said, someone sent me a link to a YouTube film. I didn't have much interest in it. I did a little research. I looked at a couple of the films. I was not thrilled by the photography that I saw. It was not photography that interested me. But I also shared a link with a project that did interest me. However, even with that project, I said, look, I like this project. I like the timeline. I like the specificity. I like the history. I like the current events, but I don't like how these files are processed, right? They're too dark for me. They're too muddy. I would love to see a little bit more shadow detail. That's called constructive criticism. But me saying this about this YouTube film and this group of YouTubers triggered a ton of people. Like, it's crazy to me that we live in a world now where saying anything constructive criticism-wise might trigger someone. But someone wrote me something interesting and said, in essence, said, you know, you shouldn't throw, people who live in glass houses shouldn't throw stones. You have 15,000 subscribers. You're a really successful YouTuber. And in my head, I was like, oh my God, this person doesn't know about YouTube. Because in my head, it was a question. In my head was, what's the benefit of being on YouTube? Because my brain defaulted to monetary return of being on YouTube. And I checked my stats earlier, and I honestly can't remember. It was either 120, 140, or 150 bucks in total revenue from YouTube over the last month. That doesn't pay for one trip to the grocery store. This is not a service that is a monetary gain for me. This is an in the red service. My first thought was, again, a question, what benefit is there to be on here? But there is a benefit. I'll get to it in a second. So if I'm getting, let's say on the positive side, I make 150 bucks a month on YouTube. Does that pay for the time and resources and equipment involved that it takes to do this channel? Not even close. I am thousands of dollars in the hole with YouTube since I started, going back a couple of years ago. The amount of equipment and time and resources and energy and stuff I put into making these films, if I charge myself back even a fraction of what I would charge as a photographer, even a fraction of that time, if I charge it back, I'm way in the hole from YouTube. There is no financial benefit from this. There is a benefit, however, and that's the conversation that we're having right now. It's being able to have these conversations, number one, and number two, it's sort of, quote, in the modern world, knowing you guys. That's the benefit of YouTube. I just came back from Argentina and met two people that knew me through YouTube who I had never met before, who are both really fun, really exciting, really interesting, smart, talented, intelligent people that made our stay in Buenos Aires a lot more interesting and enjoyable than it would have been had I not been able to meet both of these people, Federico and Johan. I've mentioned them before. I owe them a lot of thanks. That's the benefit of being on YouTube. It's the conversations that we're allowed to have, and it's the benefit of building sort of a community where we know each other. There is no financial benefit from this. So is there a difference between 12,000 and 18,000 followers? No. I don't think YouTube is interesting as a business, I'm guessing, until you're in the six-figure range of followers. And, you know, if you can get up into the million range, that's obviously going to be financially successful. But here's my question to you. Why are so many YouTubers going away? Why are some of the most successful YouTubers in history quitting and going away? And why is this happening more and more and more? Why do YouTubers have so many mental health problems? If you're going to go all in on YouTubers and YouTube photographers, you got to ask yourself not just the upside of like, hey, maybe they're delivering you something that you find entertaining. Why do so many of these people end up with mental health issues? It's because much of what you're seeing is a facade. It's not real. It's built to build following. That's a huge difference. This is my advice. If you are going to do YouTube and this is going to become your primary business, I'm not sure there is another way to do it if you want to make, let's say, what a quote unquote legitimate content. And even the stuff that I said earlier that didn't do it for me, that's legitimate content. Those YouTubers who went to Spain, there's artistic merit. There is talent in filmmaking. There's the ability to negotiate with the Spanish government as a client or the Spanish Board of Tourism or whoever it was. There's skill and there is artistic merit. It's just not what I'm looking for when I look for photography online. That's the big difference. But if you are going to do YouTube and you want to make, quote, legitimate content, I'm not sure there's any other way to do it other than going all in and doing exactly what these other people are doing. I will certainly never ever reach that level, and I will be gone from YouTube far before I would even have a chance to do that, because it's not something I want to do. I'm not interested in going all in on YouTube. I'm not interested in sort of building a facade around who I am as a person or a photographer. It's not interesting to me. It's boring. So I would do something else. But the other thing to do if you want to solve YouTube is, like, imagine a guy driving a car with the sunroof open and a squirrel falls in the sunroof, and his girlfriend is filming it and she posts it on YouTube, and then some guy, there's a way for you to like take that footage and post it on yours, and it gets like 7.1 million views. Right? Those sites are probably raking in the cash. You know, that's the other alternative, is to just go for the low-hanging fruit, the lowest common denominator, car crashes, people falling and hurting themselves. I'm sure those channels are killing it, no pun intended. But is that something you really want to do? I don't know. I'm not here to judge if that's what you want to do. Do it, and do it to the best of your ability. But that's it. Criticism, mentioned this in the last film, it's just a part of life. You know, it's, if you can't handle someone saying something not even negative, just saying, look, it's not my thing, about anything online, that's kind of a problem. My advice, get some mate. Get on as quick as possible, people.